We got ourselves Frosty going to be first up over for the team 1 with Ruin going to be also on the other team. Frostmage versus Frostmage actually. When is the last time you've seen someone like this? I think maybe like Cataclysm. We've seen Frostmages being a lot more relevant. Maybe like Mr. Pandaria. As Ruin started taking a lot of damage from this Lances. Oh my goodness. That was just a lot of damage on a Frost. I think maybe Ruin was trying to go for a setup of his own and decided, you know what, maybe I'll be able to survive this one. Maybe I'll be okay. I may not need an ice block, but maybe should have had an ice block ready. DGK is going to be up next. As an Holy Death, dropping down the big Death of Decay. As Frosty trying to see if he can maybe go for a bit of a reset behind the pillar. Definitely should be playing out in the open, I think, though. Actually, I don't even know. As a caster, is it better to play out in the open? Because that's what most casters do. Or do you want to play that pillar game? Gonna be a Breath with the Palm to follow. Should be able to send the pet over to DGK. It's gonna be a Blizzard up immediately. AMS up for DGK really early on. Does go in for the pet stun with an enormous stun. Gonna be the guard join in. Frosty could potentially be in a good spot if they use all the time. Could mitigate a lot of this damage. Polymorphs coming out versus the DGK. Trying to see if they can control as much damage as they can of a Death Knight. Gonna be the main pet empowered. Army of the Ghouls attacking the shifting power to follow. Is gonna get interrupted on nature, but has access to the ice block with that nature interrupt, which gives him a little bit more of that recovery. That's not really a bad move whatsoever. Frosty could set up a Snowdrift versus DGK as well. Could IBF out of it, but at least it could give you a little bit more of that shatter bonuses. They could be in a decent spot though. DGK does have some AMS to bypass a lot of the Frosty damage. Interrupt onto Frosty for just a second. Does not have a kick for the shooting power. That's gonna be a trick out of Frosty. Does he have a second ice block? Maybe able to use the second one. Does have it ready in case things ever go wrong, but definitely wants to hold on to it. Trying to get some shatter bonus with DGK. Actually, maybe able to do it. Big death back down for DGK as Frosty goes in for an ice block, looking for the full-on recovery. It's going to be yet another grip by the Death Knight. Has an AMS in there ready. So Frosty, if you can survive this for just a second, maybe get yourself images or something, anything to give yourself a little bit of survivability. Now the Death Knight is open for big shatters, trying to go for a stun. Do you have an out for this one though? Does not play a proper normal Blink Blade Shimmer instead, and the DGK guy does end up taking him down, surrounding him with a full army of the undeads. It is going to be Creator up next, trying to see if he can charge out as a sub-rogue. Got himself the full golden mark too. Sepsis? That's an interesting one as a sub-rogue. Sepsis, huh? I mean, I guess Sepsis does do quite a bit of damage. Going to be immediate IBF for the Death Knight though, as DGK trying to see if he can maybe keep the pet over there onto Creator. The man got himself Shadow Blades, so he's able to get a little bit of damage versus the main pet. Does go for the evasion really early on. So potentially for DGK, if he can get a stun lock at the Creator, he could be in a good spot. Get a shot onto the Death Knight, cheap shot to follow. Maybe in a bit of trouble. Blind right after, but the main pet still attacking the rogue though. He was able to mitigate a lot of the pet's damage with that evasion, but he's still not out of the woods just yet. I think just wait until the next kidney shot is available. Stun by the Death Knight, able to lock that Creator for just a moment. Try to see if he can maybe potion some damage onto the rogue. Got himself the swarm at the ready as well. Yet another kidney shot. Does he have an out for this one? I think he may be done and done here. Especially if there's another cheap shot to follow from Creator. One more Wizard is all he needs. Sacrificing the main ghoul, summon up a new one. But does the man survive this though? Nothing he can do about it. Still locked out in the south a little bit. Sepsis is going to be quite deadly. Can AMS and Sepsis definitely shoot AMS whenever possible. Summon up his main pet. Definitely needs to deal with that Sepsis whenever he can. There's quite a lot of damage that's going to burn right through you. Creator trying to see if he can go for yet another restyle, dude. The rogue does not really give this guy much of an opportunity to play the game. Just constantly resetting. Sap could send the pet out while the rogue is dotted. Definitely should send the pet to disrupt the rogue. The man continues to go for Sap, CJ. No! Definitely needs to get the pet in there. So, because even if you're Sap, you can still control your pet. Scarlet going to be up next as the Frost Mage, trying to see if he can fight through the Creator. Try to see if they can defeat their own Creator. It's going to be the big Snowdrift. Try to see if maybe we can use those shadows, stricken out of the rogue. Let Scarlet get hit with a blind. Do they break out of it? I don't think they can. Does have the images attacking the rogue though, so maybe we can find a better angle versus the rogue and get a couple of lances in there. Maybe that could have been good, but no, the sap reset goes on. And the rogue is able to go for a full redo. Does pop out on his ice block really early. Got himself the flurry. Able to lance him down. Is he able to take him down? Glacier Spike is going to get interrupted though. Does have a blink in order to get out of that stun. And it's going to be Ring of Fire. Glitch Spike still coming through. Does he have the damage? Oh, looking for a big hit. Doesn't quite connect with a massive Shadow of Spike. But the lances that follow afterwards do work. My goodness, Scarlet. That's a rough one, man. How do you live that as a Frost Mage? What's up next? Is it gonna be another? It's gonna be another rogue. It's gonna be Scenarios. At least it's not a sub rogue. But man, assassination just as terrifying, if not more terrifying. Gonna be a trinket for Sonaris. It's gonna be a snowdrill for Scarlet. Keeping Sonaris kind of close. It's gonna be able to stun him, but cannot really follow up with damage. Is getting interrupted on the Frost Dome. But it's going to be Ring of Frost to follow, Ring of Fire right after. Sonaris could poke in, but it's going to be just a lot of damage for him to walk through. Either could walk through Ring of Fire and take percentage health damage, that or just stay along with all the freeze, all the fire damage, all the elemental damage that just surrounds him. With a Ray of Frost to follow, does not really have a way to root him down. If only you could have a Shadow Run to Sonaris with that Ray of Frost off a Flurry, that would be an intense damage. Sonaris actually getting cut low in health, but Scarlet almost got him. Going to be Scarlet with the Human Racial out of the stone really early on. Breath of the Sonaris. Wait, actually, could be pretty deadly for Sonaris if you have a Snowdrift. Wait, Snowdrift could actually eliminate the Rogue. Mania to pre-cloak it. That's actually going down and think, oh my god, wait a second. Oh, Scarlet does end up eliminating the Rogue. Are you kidding me? If the Rogue had a pre-cloak for that, he would have been fine. He did not have a Human Racial for that stun. Oh no, that was well timed by Scarlet, dude. What is that? Wait, Frostmage actually got 2 kills on Rogues out of all the classes. The next up is going to be Flex, sending out the pet, getting some dots versus Scarlet, trying to see if he can maybe bypass. Wait, what's your pet? Was your pet not in combat? Oh, your pet was Polly, that's what it was. Scarlet getting charged out by Flex. That's going to be Snowdrift, but at this point, I mean, what can you do? He has himself all the time. Maybe he can get himself a bit of health back with an altar, but at this point, not a lot really can be done. 72% dampener, yeah. That was a rough one, man, but the Frostmage did bypass at least 2 rogues, which is something. Gotta give him credit on that one. That was a tough one. Shadhound gonna be up next, I think as a marksman? I want to say marksman because I'm not seeing kill command or anything like that. Shad tried to see if he can find an angle, but so far just hasn't been able to find a good one yet whatsoever. Maybe Trap helps him. Freezes the pet. Does he find Gigi? He does find Flex for a second. Is he gonna send arrows at him? Wait a second. He just sent out arrows at the guy. He started going for a Hunter's aim shot. Arrows got sent. And he just like nothing happened. Wait a second. Hold on. He was able to send like wind arrows without breaking stealth. What was that? That was kind of fried. Chad at some point is gonna have to go counter offensive versus Flex. No more double tap. So what do you do as a marksmanship hunter in this case? Turtle shell off for Flex as he's cooldowns to the Shad. Decided to play it super careful here. Shad still has a lot of damage at the ready. Binding shot onto the pet. Maybe he can get himself a good angle versus Flex. Trying to see if he can walk him out, but kind of limited what he can really do. Feint does for just a second, but the pet doesn't really lose sight of you whatsoever. Big grenades. Kill shot is all Flex needs. I think at this point it's just over for Shad Hunt. Yeah, at this point it's over. Unless you get some a good setup. Yeah, it's rough. Chicago is the last one over for the Team 2 versus Flex. So it's really going to be down for Chicago to see if they can take out Flex. Oh, he just leaves. Okay, I guess that works too. I guess like, you know what, depth is super high. I'm asking. At least Scarlet does get 2 kills on rogues, man. That was a rough one. What do you do in that situation, man? That is a lot of rogues. That is a lot of rogues.